When it comes to best practices, what we're talking about is opinions. Some people have humble opinions. Some people have big opinions. And when enough people have the same opinion, what you end up with is a set of best practices. In true Rails for Zombie style, Rails Best Practices contains 5 levels, each which starts with a high-quality screencast, followed by several in-browser Rails 3 coding challenges you must complete to get to the next level, and retro gaming humor sprinkled in throughout to keep it entertaining. The first 2 levels are spent exploring controller best practices, the next 2 model best practices, and then finally 1 exploring view best practices. If you're a seasoned Rails developer, some of these may look familiar, but no matter how much experience you have with Rails, we guarantee you'll see a few things to keep you at the top of your game. We realize with Rails Best Practices that if you complete 5 levels, it should count for something, which is why when you finish the course, not only do you unlock the final video, but you'll also receive a few awards. One which contains an additional discount on your next Code School course, one for a free screencast of your choice from Peep Code Screencasts, and one for a 35% discount on all books from Inform IT, which include the Addison Wesley Professional Ruby series. You'll also receive a few badges as you complete the course, eventually unlocking the course completion badge, which will display prominently on your public profile. Let's jump into a course demo and show you what it looks like from the inside. Once you purchase the course, you'll start out by watching a screencast that will lead you through a bunch of best practices. You can navigate to the different parts of the video using the sidebar here, and when you're ready to jump into the first set of challenges, you're going to click Start Level. The challenge screen may look complex at first, but let me walk you through it. Up top, you can see our current challenge and how many points we'll get when we answer the challenge correctly. Under the objective, we'll see additional information about the application we're working on, like routes, requests, views, and hints. Hints are great if you're having trouble figuring out a challenge, but be warned, every time you ask for an additional hint, the points you get for solving the challenge will be reduced by 75 points. So you never get stuck on a challenge, the third hint usually gives you enough information to solve the challenge, but then you won't be getting many points. Further down the page, you'll find the code editor you'll use to solve the challenge. Sometimes it'll be a single file, but in this case it's 2. If you're running on a small screen, you can easily switch between split screen view and a tabbed interface. The editor should feel pretty familiar, and it makes it really easy to do copy-pasting when you need to move some code around. Once you solve the challenge, you want to submit the code by pressing this blue button here, or using Command Return if you're on a Mac, or Control Return on a PC. Once the challenge is solved, you'll get the points added to your total on the right side of the screen, and you can click on Next Challenge to continue. It's worth mentioning that on the right sidebar, you can easily re-watch the video, reset the challenge, change level, jump around to the different challenges for the level if you want to come back to something later, or download the course slides. The course slides can be pretty useful to solve the challenges, so you'll definitely want to grab those. It should be said that this is not a course for beginners. You probably should have worked on at least one Rails app before attempting to play. You may want to play Rails Best Practices to fine-tune your skills, or just for a good challenge. Either way, since this was published by Code School, you're bound to learn more because you're learning by doing.